Parliament approves 2025-2026 national budget. Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TVC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TVC Online. The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, has arrived in the Republic of Mozambique. Upon her arrival, President Samia was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of the Republic of Mozambique, Ambassador Maria Manuela dos Santos Lucas, at the Maputo International Airport, where she is expected to be the official guest of honor at the 50th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Mozambique, following a special invitation from the President of Mozambique, Daniel Chapo. The celebrations will be held tomorrow at the Machava Stadium in Maputo. In other news, the Parliament has overwhelmingly approved the government's national budget for the 2025-2026 financial year, endorsing a total of 56.19 trillion shillings. The budget passed with 373 votes, representing 98.7% of all votes by the members of Parliament. Here are more details.
Days of intense debate and scrutiny, MPs voted in favor of the budget that was presented last week by Minister for Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba. The approval marks a key milestone in the government's plan to continue delivering public services and implementing major development projects across the country.
Natangaza rasmi kwamba bajeti ya serikali imepitishwa kwa kura 373.
I hereby officially announce that the government's budget has been passed with 373 votes, equivalent to 98.7%. With this parliamentary approval, the budget now signifies a collective agreement that the proposals brought forward by the government will be implemented in the coming financial year. We wish them all the best in the implementation process.
Earlier, while concluding the debate on the country's economic outlook, Minister of State in the President's Office for Planning and Investment, Professor Kitila Mkumbo, say that despite global economic uncertainties, Tanzania's economy remains resilient.
Tunachosema na ambacho taasisi zote za kifedha duniani.
What we are saying and what all global financial institutions such as the World Bank, IMF, African Development Bank, and others are also saying that our economy has remained strong and resilient amid global crises and disasters. This is an assessment coming from highly respected international institutions.
Minister for Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, in his final remarks before the vote, emphasizes the government's cautious approach to investment and debt management. He says the new budget is designed to stimulate inclusive economic growth without overburdening the country with debt.
Tunawekeza kwenye sekta za uzalishaji.
We are investing in productive sectors, and this gives us confidence that we will not be overwhelmed by debt. This is because our investments are directed toward infrastructure, social services, and other economic stimulating initiatives.
With the budget now passed, the next major event in Parliament will be the anticipated address by President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, scheduled for June 27th, where she is expected to outline her administration's vision following the budget approval.
As President Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to address the 12th Parliament on Friday, the 27th of June this year, TBC News is in Dodoma to bring you all the latest few discussions and stories. Parliament plays a pivotal role in shaping a country's economic priorities by influencing legislation, allocating national budgets, and guiding development strategies. To explore this dynamic further, earlier today, I spoke with Professor Joel Johnson, an esteemed economist from the University of Dodoma, whose insights shed light on how parliamentary decisions directly impact economic planning and the everyday lives of citizens.
Actually, the parliament has very crucial role to make the government accountable. So in any democratic country, we need to have the parliament, who is the body that represents the citizen of that particular country. So this board is crucial for ensuring that the citizens are fully taken into account in order to address their needs. Yes.
So in which ways now does it influence the economic priorities? Maybe through the budget or through the laws? How?
Exactly. So the parliament is the one who review the proposal from the government, debate, and approve, or sometimes amend the proposed budget from the government. And actually, it is the time where the parliament now take into consideration the needs of the citizen from the lower level to the government. So the way the member of parliament are working, they collect the need from the maybe village level to the ward level, where we have the committee there, we have the councillors, and then to the district levels, where the needs are being taken to the national level. And this is where now the parliament starts to review, to debate, approve, and amend the budget in order to be approved. Yes.
And how does it make sure now government spending supports economic growth of the country?
Actually, this is a very important question because we know the role of the parliament is to ensure the government is accountable. So we need to approve or to amend the budget that address the need of the citizen. For that case, each member of parliament will be in a position to debate and to request the government to be able to support those activities, those functions that will address the need of the people.
And
Yes.
if you were to assess this current government, in which ways do you think it has been supporting all these functions that you've mentioned?
Actually, this parliament has done a good job, and actually there's a number of achievement which has been made, especially when we talk to the national interest. We have very big infrastructures which have been constructed by this government. We have the Mwalimu Nyerere hydroelectric power. We have the SGR, now starting from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma and all the way to Mwanza. And also it has addressed a very prominent social issues, especially on health and water sectors. So taking into account, this parliament was very responsible to the citizen.
Remember, we are in Dodoma this week to bring you all the stories about the parliament, the dissolution of the parliament on the 27th this Friday. Young people in Tanzania say the 12th Parliament has made efforts to address youth-related issues, especially in areas of employment, education and entrepreneurship. Speaking to TVC News, they expressed their hopes for the coming 13th Parliament, insisting that although some laws and programs have supported economic development in the 12th Parliament, more should be done in the next Parliament to move the country forward.
The Parliament has so much impact on the economic growth of the country, as they're the ones who agree on the budget. So as they are the ones who have the most, their votes have the highest voice. So they're the ones who can decide well, they can arrange matters, they can arrange everything from the events, from execution of the plans to make the economy better. And if the parliament members hear from youth and work on the ideas of the youth, then it's very, very possible for our country to grow more economically.
Hard time never lasts, but tough people do. They come across from the very tough, critical condition, from the death of the late John Pombe Magufuli. At the parliament, they go together to curb that situation. They're coming on the new regime under President Samia Suluhu Hassan, and we all see that the economic growth through their laws, policies. So to me, I say that they prove much better. They create the way forward for the 13.
The next parliament should focus on how to empower youth in innovation, because many of youth, specifically in university, they had so many innovation ideas, so many startups, but are not yet empowered. So making a budget so that to empower those startups and the innovations for youth, so that to create the employments.
On the same note, to explore further the 12th Parliament role in the overall national development, we are now joined live from Dar es Salaam by a political and economic analyst, Novatus Igosha. To start, what has been the contribution of the outgoing Parliament to national development?
Thank you, Faiza, for having me. There has been so many contributions, because we have to remember the Parliament is not only a place to debate policy and have arguments. It's an institution which gets so many documents that are loaded in different legal jargons and legalistic texts. For example, standing orders and, of course, Hansards and different policies and government bills. So if you remember this Parliament, different parliamentarians, despite that most were predominantly partisan, to mean that the majority are from CCM, they made the budget to become a hub of national progress, a crucible of engagement in terms of different sectors, for example, expansion of infrastructure, healthy sector, where they could advise the government or criticize some of the bills. And one of the most key points is where even the Speaker of the Parliament maintained political neutrality, though she's part of the Parliament. So in so many different ways, the Parliament has been completely in the conviction that it reflects what the honorable members of Parliament know, especially towards this political season as we head up towards the general election.
And how have people's needs and priorities been given consideration in the outgoing 12th Parliament, especially in budget-making process?
First and foremost, I do believe it was completely given consideration, though it's not directly to every constituency. There can be challenges. However, when we check how fertilizer subsidies came into play, our seeds came into play, it means agriculture was given a priority, and that's the backbone of our economy. But on other stands, you see how the CAG reports was also used to remind the government what is needed to the public. I remember somebody like the MP from Arusha, how he's trying to air out his questions on the accountability on the ground. But at the same time, there was an MP from Kahama, Mr. Kishimba, where he gave his personal conviction on education. So when you speak of different sectors, expansion of infrastructure, rural electrification. So today when you see a young child, for example, in the village, has the opportunity to study below the lights of electric power, that means a voice has been given in Parliament, government has been accountable. If you see a road being paved somewhere, that means the government was accountable, and there was a parliamentarian who has been speaking about that. So I believe on both sides of the aisle, the executive branch, the government itself, the legislation, as far as the members of Parliament and their leader, the Speaker, they've done completely a very commendable job. And I congratulate both of them very, very positively.
Yes, Igosha. Do you think the people's representatives, that is members of Parliament, can do more to ensure people's needs are addressed timely and satisfactorily?
Thank you. That's a very good question. I absolutely believe they need to do more, because when you have a chance to serve in Parliament, it's not only a political position, it's a voice of every homestead across our large, vast country the United Republic of Tanzania. So people expect you to be their voice in terms of healthy needs, in terms of water, in terms of infrastructure, and you name it. So members of parliament need to remember, it's not a place where you should voice personal issues like maybe privilege for your spouse in passing towards the airport or the hotels, or to have a license plate, to have special privilege on the roads. They expect you to meet what the president and the public wants you to do, to be accountable to the people, to voice their concerns, to speak for their crisis, but above all, to advise the government where necessary, whether through caucuses or committees or any other procedure that is given before this honorable institution called the parliament.
Just briefly, Igosha, briefly, just 1 minute, what has impressed you most from this outgoing parliament?
Number one, presidential engagement. The president was always following up. If you remember, during the budgetary discussion, the president was following everything virtually via televised engagement. That means she was trying to care, to follow up what the ministers are going to do, what their parliament can be able to say and advise. That's strong show of presidential leadership. Number two, I was very much impressed by most parliamentarians, because though the parliament is predominantly partisan, they were able to voice their concerns to advise the government. Those 2 points is something I was very much impressed, not only as a political analyst, but as a lawyer who knows parliamentary session and everything that is done in parliament.
Thank you very much, Igosha, and hopefully we'll have you throughout the week for more analysis.
I wish you all the very best.
In other news, Tanzania has been among 45 countries worldwide that have benefited from a joint cooperation program in the mining sector, whereby more than 100 mining professionals have been able to advance their skills and contribute over 10% to the national income. Here's a report by Henry Babumo, read to you by Caroline Maleo.
Stakeholders in the mining sector from various African and European countries are meeting in Dar es Salaam to explore new areas of cooperation in the mining sector following the previous agreements coming to an end. Opening up the meeting on behalf of the Minister of Minerals, the Deputy Minister of Minerals, Msafiri Mbibo, says Tanzania's ties with other stakeholders from various geological and mineral research institutions has helped to nurture further various Tanzanian professionals, especially during this era of science and technology.
We need to collaborate with other partners in building capacity in geoscience, leading to efficient development of critical minerals potential we have. In this regard, European Union through PANAF Geo Plus and Africa Marvel initiatives fits in as an appropriate partner to enhance our geoscience information through capacity building of our professionals, particularly at the geological area.
On the other hand, the president of the Geological and Research Institute of Africa, Rokhaya Diene, explains how the cooperation has been a game changer to the member countries.
And this program helps us to train our members and also to realize some regional activities like mapping. As you heard, the permanent secretary says that mapping is very important for countries.
A capacity building aspect, which is very important, because up to now we have been training more than 1,750 African experts coming out from the 54 countries in Africa. So we are managing this training either in English or in French or in Portuguese.
From the meeting, experts from the mining sector have collectively reached agreements to exchange experiences and expertise in geology and mining research to enhance the mining sector within the partner countries. Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
This is TBC News coming to you live from Dodoma this week as President Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to address the 12th Parliament on Friday, 27th of June. We bring you all the latest through discussions and stories. The High Commissioner of South Africa to Tanzania, Nolutando Mayende Malepe, says women in diplomacy play a critical role in driving global development and are essential in addressing key world issues such as peace, stability, and equality. Here are more details.
She made the remarks in Dar es Salaam during a high-level power table to mark the Day of Women in Diplomacy, which is observed on June 24th annually. A day designated by the United Nations to recognize the invaluable contribution of women to diplomacy.
I think women in diplomacy are very, very key in the development of the world, in our countries, on our continent, and globally. And the voice of women should be louder on the issues that are affecting the world.
She further congratulated Tanzania for having a female head of state, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who she describes as a leading example of how women in diplomacy can champion gender equality and strengthen international relations at the global stage.
Congratulations, as Tanzania, because you have a woman president at the top who is pushing issues of women, also at the multilateral, platforms that she interacts with. So there are many ways, even on the ground, where women can make a difference to ensure that there is peace in the world, there is development.
Furthermore, Ambassador Liberata Mulamula explains what it takes to become a diplomat, while organizers of the power table explain the significance and purpose of this year's celebration.
To be a diplomat, you need to have, one, patience, perseverance, but be ready to build relations where you don't even see the opportunity. There's always opportunity to build good relations, and it pays. And then I was saying, as a woman, of course, the bar is always high, so you need 3H, hard work. Don't go for favors. It doesn't last, it doesn't sustainable. But to be humble, that also integrity. Integrity is very important, especially because in diplomacy, you are the face, you are the image.
The main aim is that we want to celebrate a woman once again, a woman that is doing a lot, especially in diplomacy. We want to commemorate, and today we have done so. Also, joining hands in the support of #1 diplomat, our very own President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, who is doing a tremendous job in building the international space for Tanzania.
We are here to say that women can break barriers within the diplomatic world. We can have the power on the diplomatic table, and we should continue to pursue diplomacy in our everyday life.
The participants also explains the lesson they learned from the power table.
I've learned from the ambassadors and the fellow women is that it's good to be humble and to appreciate the humble beginnings.
Learning more about women in leadership, sharing and uplifting each other. So we need to know more about diplomacy.
Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Antonia Kivaria, TBC News.
Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, has launched Mimifad Campaign, which aims to raise public awareness on environmental conservation. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, Acting Director General of TBC, Dafrosa Kimbori, says the campaign focuses on environment conservation and promotion of tourist attractions.
TBC, as a national or public broadcaster, we are responsible, just like responsible to educate the public about the other things or activities going around in the country. We are also responsible to educate the public about environmental preservation. How? TBC, we are engaged in environmental preservation by establishing special programs dealing with different issues regarding the environment.
On the other hand, Environment Conservation Ambassador from Wild Aid, Nakaya Sumari, says Tanzania's identity lies in its natural environment. Therefore, it is important to protect it, while Hassan Sango, a motorcycle transport officer, highlights the importance of clean environment in relations to his area of work.
Is to inspire everyone, every Tanzanian, to take responsibility in conserving nature. Whatever your profession is, whoever you are responsible for your environment, and you're responsible to conserve nature. Tanzania is one of the most blessed countries in the world, where we have some of the most natural parks. They're not man-made. Like, Tanzania is what it is since the beginning of time, and we've just done a good job in conserving it. So I want to encourage everyone across the country to conserve whatever nature they have, be it the animals, be it the trees, be it the plants, be it the fish, anything that you deem as nature, because you know what? Everyone has a right to live.
Mimifad Campaign has brought together various community groups, including health professionals, teachers, religious leaders, musicians, economic experts, and taxi drivers. Now, on that note, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Weather followers, my name is Jess Makwata from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, and welcome for 24 weather update starting from tonight. We expect a cooler condition over southwestern islands compared to the rest part of the country, with the lowest minimum temperature of 80 degrees Celsius expected over Mbeya and Jombe regions. During the night, we expect Dar es Salaam, Pwani, Tanga, together with Unguja and Pemba Azores to experience partly cloud condition, rain showers over a few areas, and just mainly partly cloud condition over the rest part of the country. Wind pattern, we expect windy to flat speed of 30 kilometers per hour for the entire coastal belt, together with Lake Nyasa, while Lake Victoria, Tanganyika, and Rukwa, we expect windy to flat speed of 20 kilometers per hour. Rainfall models are indicating presence of dry condition over most part of the country, with just slight chances of having rainfall over the northern coast. Therefore, for tomorrow, we expect Tanga, Dar es Salaam, and Pwani, together with Unguja and Pemba, to experience partly cloud condition, rain showers over a few areas, and sun period. In the rest part of the country, we expect just partly cloudy condition and sun period. And now let's have the next 4 days weather forecast. Dar es Salaam, we expect it to feature mainly light rain showers over a few areas, while over Dodoma, we expect partly cloud condition and sun period. Weather over Mbeya for the coming 4 days is just partly cloud condition and long sun periods. While for Mwanza also we expect the same scenario of partly cloud condition and sun periods. Kilimanjaro region, we expect it to feature partly cloud condition and sun period for the coming 4 days. Morogoro region also we expect it to feature mainly dry condition for the coming 4 days. Arusha region, we expect a partly cloud condition and sun periods. Dear viewers from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, thanks for watching, and we wish you a good night.
That is all we have for tonight from Dodoma. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team here from Dodoma and from Dar es Salaam, I am Faiba Ngaga. Good night.
Mtazamaji wa TBC1, tuko mahala hapa eneo la Goba jijini Dar es Salaam kwenye uzinduzi wa kazi za mikono zinazotengenezwa na watoto wenye ulemavu wa uelewa. Ni watoto wa aina mbalimbali ambao wamezaliwa wakiwa na mapungufu tofauti na watu wengine. Kituo cha SALT kilianzishwa hivi karibuni, miaka kadhaa imepita, kwa ajili ya kuangalia uwezekano wa kuwapatia watoto hawa namna ambavyo wanapaswa kufanya kazi za mikono. Wametengeneza vitu mbalimbali ambavyo ni vyakula, lakini pia wana duka lao maeneo ya hapa Goba, ambalo leo hii tuko hapa kwa ajili ya kufungua duka hili pamoja na mgahawa. Kwa hiyo mgeni rasmi ilikuwa awe Mheshimiwa Spika wa Bunge la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Tulia Ackson, lakini kutokana na sababu zilizokuwa nje ya uwezo akafika hapa naibu waziri anayehusika na masuala ya bunge Umi